superstars of wrestling. Have you ever met someone so clean, so slick, so sophisticated as world-class Channing Thomas? Because tonight, Wesley Pipes, you are just gonna find out how slick world-class can be.
World-class Channing Thomas, you're gonna come into my hometown of St. John, New Brunswick and try to make a name for yourself on me? Well, you got another thing coming, kid. You're gonna step in the ring with a 260-pound muscle beast who's gonna tear you apart!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your main event of the evening!
Travis!
Introducing first,
He's here!
on loan from the Dallas Wrestling Office, weighing in at 227 pounds.
From the Dallas Wrestling Office, we have
World-class
Channing Thomas! I feel like you should be in the audience cosplaying as Channing Thomas. Now you're dusting over him. Hey, after I cut my hair, I can't pull off that look. Channing Thomas is not popular around these parts. A throwback, a true territory king. He's got world blast. He's a top contender from around the world. I cannot believe.
You're welcome!
I cannot believe Jeff Graves struck a deal with Fritz von Erich to get us Channing Thomas.
Fritz von Erich? Kotsab, the only person who loves Channing Thomas more than you is Channing Thomas.
Internationally known, world class, world famous.
Hailing from St. John, New Brunswick, by way of
want to
Gold
talk about top
Feet,
contenders.
weighing in at 200.
You want to talk about championship caliber wrestlers.
From Muscle Beast, Westling!
I can barely hear myself over these fans. The King Kong of St. John, the muscle beast, Wesley Pipes.
If he's a King Kong of St. John, I gotta think that tonight it could be Beauty that killed the beast with Channing Thomas.
Channing Thomas is no Fay Ray, but who knows what he has up his sleeve tonight. You want to talk about fan favorites, you want to talk about crowd pleasers, you want to talk about the heart and soul of superstars of wrestling. That man right there, Wesley Pipes. Main event in Canada, United States, Mexico, and he's loved everywhere he goes.
And that's just within the last month, Travis.
Truly unbelievable.
Mexico, Canada, the United States. And credit where it's due, Travis, the body transformation that Wesley Pipes has gone through over the years. Oh,
It's night and day. It's unbelievable. Honestly,
we're talking about a near 20-year growth, and he looks better now than he ever has. The shape he's in is incredible.
Truly. Both these men, two of the best physiques in superstars of wrestling. But this ain't a beauty contest. We're going to see who gets the better of who tonight.
If it was a beauty contest, they wouldn't have to ring the bell. We would just hand the winner's purse to Channing Thomas now.
Well, I know you're giving him a 10.
Do you know how much that robe cost, Travis?
No idea.
It's more than a year's mortgage on most people's houses.
Somehow, that doesn't shock me. And the crowd letting Channing know who they're firmly behind. Not a bipartisan crowd tonight.
Channing Thomas with a $30,000 robe. Wesley Pipes with the head of Harambe. It's no contest here.
That might be a $30,000 robe. Wesley Pipes, $1 million body. And St. John letting Channing Thomas hear it.
Machines, residents have been saying that since the day they were born.
Channing Thomas taking geography lessons from Franco Varga.
I don't even know where we are anymore. Are we in St. Joseph? Are we in St. John? Are we in Miramichi?
Nearly 20 years in this industry, and that's why the chance of Wesley fill this building, a staple of the maritime scene. And Channing Thomas, how cowardly is this?
Hey.
More concerned with his hair than the match.
Channing Thomas, this is what we call mind games, Travis. Getting into the head of Wesley Pipes. Well, listen, I love Pipes, but the man's a hothead. And if you can get inside his brain and throw him off his game, it's only going to do you favors. Channing Thomas with the biggest move of the night, a perfect cartwheel on the outside of the ring.
Well, St. John letting Thomas know what they think of that cartwheel. Letting him know what they think Wesley is going to do to him tonight. And finally, Thomas engages with Wesley.
Thomas locking up with Pipes and well, I was about to say I think the mental advantage was to Channing Thomas. Now I'm not so sure.
Mental advantage might be Thomas, but the strength advantage, as we just saw, Wesley Pipes. What a throw. These men meet in the middle of the ring.
Wesley Pipes definitely has the home field advantage here in the port city.
No question.
He's got his children in attendance tonight. He's got his wife in attendance. And Channing Thomas, on loan from the Dallas Wrestling office, would love to go back to the home of the Von Erichs and tell them how he put down St. John's top man.
Well, Channing Thomas thinks we're in Miramichi. Kotsab thinks we're in 1986. I have no idea what's going on. But a headlock applied here from Thomas. Look at the vein popping out of Wesley Pipes' head on this headlock. How much pressure is applied right now? Oh, and What a textbook reversal into a headlock of his own from Pece.
And here's the thing about Pece that not a lot of people think about. He is the muscle beast. He is a huge man. People forget that he's more than a powerhouse. Wesley Pece is an in-ring technician.
Oh.
And Channing Thomas learning the hard way, he's also a brick wall.
You yourself have been in the ring with Wesley Pece.
Bet you can't.
I have. I've been in the ring with Wesley Pece, both as an opponent and as a tag team partner. And Travis, no surprise, I much preferred being his partner.
What's it like getting hit by one of those shoulder tackles that he just delivered on Channing Thomas?
You get rearranged. You need to find your ground. You need to gather your bearings all over again because it's no joke. It really is like hitting a brick wall when you get a shoulder tackle from Wesley Pece.
And you're seeing the effects immediately. Thomas
do it again!
favoring that left arm, but the St. John crowd having no sympathy for it. They want to see it again. Oh, and Thomas cuts him off with a kitchen sink.
And this is what I'm talking about. Wesley Pece is an incredible talent. He is a veteran of pro wrestling, but he can be hot-headed.
Hot-headed?
Thomas getting under his skin, and Pece didn't even consider that Thomas would have an answer to that second shoulder tackle until it was too late.
Well, I think Pece thought Thomas would have an ounce of integrity, but he answers back with a back body drop and finishes with a textbook drop kick.
Channing Thomas is a throwback, and he just got thrown back to the 80s with that back body drop.
And a gorgeous butterfly suplex from Wesley Pece. Only a 1 count. And there, Thomas again rolling out of the ring.
Travis, how come you're not calling Pece out for the illegal grabbing of the hair? You made sure that everyone knew about people raking eyes and closed fists. No call out about the handful of hair on Wesley Pece.
Listen, I'm not saying it's right, but after everything Thomas has done tonight, turnabout is fair play. Oh, and Pece trying to crush the sternum of Thomas with those clubs across the chest. And look at the power.
That is what you call being brought in the hard way.
Just slingshotting a man into the ring.
Channing.
Oh.
See, that is the experience of Wesley Pece. How many times has Wesley Pece run into that exact situation and he was ready for it? Thomas trying to pull Pece into the turnbuckle.
He was ready for that, but he was not ready for that thumb to the eye, followed by the bulldog. I have to say, I don't like Thomas's tactics, but he is cunning.
He's internationally known. He is a throwback. He is a top contender from around the world. Every territory that Channing Thomas goes to, he is in contention for championship.
Territories?
That is, of course, when he is not on loan to the Dallas wrestling office. See, a territory like Dallas, they want to keep someone like Channing Thomas nearby at all times.
Coach Sab, would you listen to yourself? Tune in next week, folks, for Atlantic Grand Prix.
Wesley Pece is coming off wins in this past year, Travis.
Wesley Pece using that momentum of Channing Thomas and turning his suplex into one of his own. But you see Pece favoring that throat right now. And Thomas, so smart to attack it, I must say.
Thomas, the veteran that he is, from experience from all the territories, knowing to focus on that neck of Wesley Pipes.
And not only does he answer with a neck breaker, he had his feet on the ropes.
The bottom rope getting in the way of Channing Thomas.
You listen to yourself. And elbow drop to that lumbar. And again, Thomas with the elbow drop. Thomas going to show the people.
A little Texas tornado spin, but did not find its target.
Cared too much about stopping the execution. Needs a body slam for his troubles. But as you mentioned, the neck of Pipes. That neck in so much pain. He didn't have time to connect with that leg drop.
Pipes missing the leg drop, and Travis, look at the size of Wesley Pipes. All of that weight coming down onto the tailbone, missing that leg drop.
Thomas again, so smart to focus on that neck.
Not sure Thomas got all of that rotating back disc onto the chest of Pipes, but he certainly made up for it by quickly grabbing a hold.
Well said. And you know what? He got enough of it. Because right now he is in the driver's seat, but Wesley Pipes trying to get the St. John faithful to rally behind him, and Pipes is to his feet.
I think it's no secret that Superstars of Wrestling will be introducing a championship of some sort in the near future. Both these men want to climb the ranks and get championship gold here in, as Channing Thomas would say, in this territory.
You have to think both these men are favorites for that discussion.
Absolutely. Being in the main event is no joke. They're in the main event for a reason. I know that Wesley Pipes aims to be a true world champion. We've talked about how he's main evented in Mexico, United States, Canada, all within the span of a month. He's had matches lined up in Nigeria, Travis. He's a world traveler, is Wesley Pipes. He's coming off wins off of top talent, such as the masterpiece Chris Masters, a former Money in the Bank, and Mr. Kennedy, and Channing Thomas.
You mentioned the who's who as Wesley hits that back suplex.
I was about to say, and Channing Thomas would love to stop that momentum cold by getting a win over Pipes. But as we saw with that back suplex, easier said than done for this world traveler.
But you can
world-class traveler.
World class. And as you saw, Pipes is in so much pain, he could barely make the cover. And Thomas answers with an elbow.
You think this is the man? Tom, you hate Wesley Pipes.
Look at Thomas mocking Pipes.
Where is he going? I don't know what the small child did to enrage Channing Thomas to the point he got out of the ring, but it must have been something.
Are you blaming a child again? And Thomas takes his eye off the ball and eats a power slam. And I have to say, well
Wesley
deserved.
Pipes needing an assist from a child at ringside to hit a power slam on world-class Channing Thomas.
Wesley Pipes now following that European uppercut with a fisherman toss.
Wesley Pipes tosses men the way I toss a piece of paper into the trash can. It's effortless.
Oh. Pipes stops a strike,
But a left.
turns it into a slam. goodness.
Channing Thomas showing that world-class expertise. He's not out of this yet.
I'll be honest with you, Coach Sav, I thought that pump handle slam was it, but Channing Thomas is durable.
Running power slam, shades of a late great Davey Boy Smith. And now Wesley Pipes. Channing Thomas putting up a fight though, Travis. See how he's gripping the hands of Wesley. And right to that neck.
So smart to duck under and not only hit the lariat to the back of the neck, close up with a DDT, and Pipes somehow, some way, still in this match.
Channing Thomas noticing a trend. He's getting frustrated.
And St. John letting Channing Thomas know what they think about his wrestling abilities.
St. John filled with nothing but blind people.
And Channing letting the crowd distract him just for a moment.
Is he going for a pile driver?
And Pipes able to fight out of it. One would have to think that would be the end, given the
The
state of
wherewithal
Pipes.
of Channing Thomas. Travis Collette. And then right back to the neck.
Channing Thomas is so smart isolating that neck with that guillotine. And again, slamming into that top turnbuckle. And as you said, he was telegraphing a pile driver there. One has to think he drops Pipes on that neck, it's over.
The size of someone like Wesley Pipes coming down onto his neck at that force, that would have been, it wouldn't have just been the end of the match. We probably wouldn't have seen Pipes for a long time if Channing Thomas hits that pile driver.
It's an unnerving thought, but I think you're correct in that. Pipes teetering. Able to answer back with a chop and a guillotine of his own across that rope.
A knife-edged chop to Channing Thomas. I'm sure he's no stranger to those coming from Dallas.
Look at the strength of Wesley Pipes. Wesley Pipes is a beast.
Deadlifting him off the apron.
A deadlift middle rope superplex, really displaying the strength of Wesley Pipes.
And you gotta wonder, Travis, how did that affect the neck of Wesley Pipes? That is a lot of impact from a heavy man coming down onto that neck.
Also a lot of strain, because Channing Thomas is no small man. And man, Sharky might count both these men out, and that would be such a disappointing outcome of this main event. But both these men have been through so much. At a count of 6.
Pipes is crawling. It has been a long time since I've seen. Look at that. World class.
Pipes barely able to get that arm over the chest of Thomas for the pin. But Thomas so smart to get that right foot on the bottom rope to keep this contest going.
World class talent. World class awareness.
Pipes with an ominous threat here.
Oh, he's going for that buckle bomb, Travis. Crucifix buckle bomb.
Is our official.
Sharky, get out of the way.
Channing Thomas with a low blow.
Channing Thomas using the referees. Is this gonna? No.
Pile driver, followed by a low blow. This would be
He's
a
done.
this would be a disgraceful end.
Inhuman.
What is Wesley Pipes made out of? There's a reason they call him the Beast. There's a reason he is the King Kong of St. John. That low blow and that pile driver would have put away 98% of men, but Pipes is still in this.
98, more like 99.9% of men.
But what does Pipes have left? I mean, did he give all he had on that kick out?
Travis, Pipes is hurt. I gotta say, even if he survived that pile driver, you gotta wonder, is it worth it?
And while I am concerned for Wesley, I have to wonder why Channing Thomas has his boot off, looking like he's gonna strike him with it. Sharky, get control of this. And that's why we have the best officials and superstars of wrestling. Wesley Pipes.
He's going for that crucifix buckle bomb again. Sharky knowing to get out of the way. There's
Crucifix buckle bomb. And Wesley Pipes wins it.
unbelievable.
What a comeback victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the Muscle Beast, the Muscle Beast.
Call the police! Call the police!
Well, one lucky fan leaving with a souvenir. I can barely hear myself. We are so elated for Wesley Pipes, the Muscle Beast, to win that match. What a hard-fought victory.
Get the police on the phone! A small child has stolen the boot of Channing Thomas!
Well, Channing Thomas tried to steal the victory, but Wesley Pipes, being so resilient, so durable, walked away with the W. He can't even leave on his own assistance.
I don't even think that kid knows how to tie a boot, let alone be able to steal it and get away with it.
Will you stop with the kid? What a contest that was, and what a victory for Wesley Pipes.
I gotta say, it was incredible. Travis, I wrote Pipes off. I said to you, if he gets hit with that pile driver, not only is he over in the ring, I didn't think we'd see him anytime soon, let alone kick out and win the match. An incredible night here at Superstars of Wrestling in St. John, New Brunswick.